Right. The next topic that you will see with regards to money questions, questions involving money items, is VAT, and then there is also discount. So I will look at these two items now. In terms of VAT, VAT is something that it's an acronym for value added tax. It is applied to both goods and services in Trinidad and Tobago and is included in the final price of a product. So if you go to the supermarket, which will be considered goods, or you go to the mall, anything that deals with goods, food, items, clothing, etc., that's goods, or a service. For example, if you are using a telephone or using Flow or any of those types of services, you have to pay VAT, value added tax. Anything usually with the word tax deals with the government. So the government of a country, all businesses have to pay them what is called value added tax. In Trinidad, value added tax is 12.5%. If you are working out 12.5%, 12.5% is always 1/8. Now, based on what they have here, I'm going to just make sure that you understand. Number one, you need to know that 12.5 is 1/8. But also, you need to be able to take 12.5, which is a percent, and divide it by 100 and work out what that will be. Because that is how you work out changing a percent to a fraction. You divide by 100. So if this is 25%, you would have said 25 is divided by 100 by putting it over 100 like this and working it as 25 and 25 is 1 and 25 into 100 is 4. So in the same way down here, you do the same thing. 12 twos are 24 and 1. 25 goes over 2. The division sign changes, the multiplication, and you flip the second fraction, and you will end up with 25 into 25, 1. 25 into 100 is 4. 1 by 1 is 1. And 2 by 4 is 8. So either way, this is just to show you how the answer is 1/8, but at your level, you need to learn 12.5% is 1/8. So first of all, VAT is always 1/8. Secondly, when you get a question, for example, Mr. Ram has a bill at a restaurant which is $240. He gets VAT of 1/8, which is 12.5%. You have to work out the VAT. It is 1/8 of 240. 1/8 of 240 is $30. I'm not dealing with solution 2. We're only dealing with solution 1. So the price that he will pay is $240 for the meal plus the $30. And then you will work out the total being $270. Now, in a question like this, sometimes they don't tell you the total. Sometimes they say he carries his family. Each person bought a drink. So it'll be like, let's say 3 people by $25, a burger, 3 people by $40, things like that. So you have to work out the bill. That's why bills is taught. Restaurant bill. And then VAT on it. Then you have your discount going forward. All right. You have discount here now, which is same concept. Before I go to discount, let me go across here, back to VAT, and make sure that I have covered everything that you would need to learn. Here we are. So as you are aware, VAT is paid by customers for the items that they buy. VAT in this case here, in this particular book, the VAT is 15%. So just remember it has changed to 12.5%. And some goods don't have VAT. They changed that as well. Previous governments had that 15%, and then some of them not VAT. Essential items that was a couple of years ago. Flour, rice, I think, things like that people, essential things that everybody needs, they took off the VAT so that you don't have to pay VAT. That changed, but anyways. So here's an example. So you go to courts. So anywhere in the country, the VAT will always be there. When you go to courts, you're walking around, you saw a dining table, $2,500. So a lot of times when you go to stores and you go to different places to purchase items, the prices you see on the tag is not the price of the item. The VAT is added after, right? So what you do is that, like, for example, if you go to the supermarket and you're seeing, you see all of the items, peas or rice, flour, etc., and you're looking at tags and you see the prices, they usually, when you go to the cashier, they will add up the bill. So they will say, okay, you bought peas, you bought rice, you bought flour, you bought soft drinks, whatever you bought, they will add it up. So let us say they get a total of $150. Then they will do VAT here on the 150, because who is going to do VAT on the peas, VAT on the rice, VAT on the flour? They wouldn't do that. So they give you VAT on the total. So let's say the VAT works out to $15, and that is what you pay. So if you look at a bill, the next time mommy or daddy goes to the supermarket, when you look at the bill, you're going to see all of your items. And the items are usually, like if you buy, let us say, you buy 3 tins of peas, they will say the 3 tins by $5 a tin, $15. It's right there on the bill. And you buy 2 kilograms of potato, right? So they will say 2 kilograms by $2 a kilogram, $4. And that's how they find out the total for you. So when they find the total, you will not see total, you will see subtotal, because that is the total for the amount of money. Then they will add the VAT here. Then they will add up that and give you your actual total. So your total is not, if you walk around the supermarket, that's what I'm saying. If you walk around the supermarket and you add up your items and you think it comes up to $100, when you go to the cashier, it will not be $100. It will be more, because they do the VAT at the cashier. So the same thing here, when you walk in these stores, they will probably put up the sign and say that the dining table is $2,500 plus VAT. If they don't want that, they will probably say the dining table is $2,500 VAT inclusive, meaning the VAT is already there. So when you go to the cashier, you will not have to pay extra money. Pay very close attention to the things I'm saying. VAT inclusive means that the price you see, that's what you pay. VAT exclusive means the price you see, that's not the price. When you go to the cashier, they will add the VAT. So these are things that you would have to look out for. So when you work out the VAT for the item, cost of the dining set is $2,500. VAT is 15%. So VAT is $375. So the price you really pay is $28.75. And I think yesterday we were looking at a question, and you would have also seen they also like to make sure they put their discount before. So these are little tricks as well too that companies do. So they tell you the price of the item is $2,500. Then they tell you, come, big sale, right? It is, let's say, 5%, 10% off, right? So work out that and whatever, and you let's say they take off $500. No, let's say they take, I'm watching the numbers here. So let's say whatever is the sale, they tell you they're gonna take off $200. So it makes it feel as though, but they take it out first. When they take out that first, and they give you this price, and you go to the register to pay, they will now add on VAT. And let us say the VAT, like in this case, comes up, VAT in this case will come up to more than $200. VAT in this case might come up to about $300 and something dollars. So when you watch the newspapers and you see a dining table and you see it for $2,500, when you reach there, you realize you paid $2,600, right? The little tricks that are there in terms of companies, etc. Right? So VAT is added on to the item. That's important to note, right? You all won't have to do VAT inclusive and VAT exclusive. Usually they just give you items like this and they ask you to find out the VAT. For you all, the most important thing I would say to remember, the most important thing I would say you need to remember is VAT is 12.5%. And if VAT is 12.5%, it's 1/8. So that is dealing with VAT. I'm going to pause at this point in time and we will look at discounts separately moving forward.